Good morning, everybody. My name is Teresa Weyant. I am a SPHS alum from 2015, and I am currently living and working in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as a fire protection engineer for Michael Baker International. I graduated from University of Maryland in 2019, where I got my Bachelor's of Science degree in fire protection engineering. So a little bit about how I got into this job. I obviously went to my undergrad for fire protection engineering, and I explored a couple different career opportunities through internships during the summer of colleges, or during the summers of college, and I explored like subcontractor with field installation, and am now working in architecture and engineering with building design. So what I do on a daily basis is I work with architects, mechanical engineers, interior designers, electrical engineers, all of the different disciplines that you need in order to build a building. I work with on a daily basis in order to build buildings. We do a lot of military construction, which is very cool. I do a lot of aircraft hangar design and a lot of specialty hazard systems that are a little bit more unique than, say, an office building, for example. As I mentioned earlier, my degree is just a Bachelor's of Science. I am fortunate enough that the career path that I am in only requires a Bachelor's of Science, but you can certainly get a Master's of Engineering in Fire Protection Engineering or a Master's of Science, especially if you want to go into research and development. I have friends that have gotten their Master's of Science degrees that are working in fields like wildland fire research or how to protect firefighters better when they're entering a house fire. So a lot of different cool career paths that you can take with fire protection engineering that people don't always expect. I am kind of in a standard traditional career path for fire protection engineering where I'm looking at a building, making sure it can be built, making sure that people can get out of there fast enough, that there's not too many people in the building and that you have enough exits, and also designing the fire alarm and fire sprinkler systems that go in the buildings. I do both office work and field work, so I am in the office or in my bedroom right now every day working on building design, and every now and then I get to go out in the field. Like yesterday, I actually went to downtown Pittsburgh and float a fire hydrant with some of my coworkers, and I've also gone on trips to do fire alarm testing in order to service this system before we actually put it in place for people to use. I've also had the opportunity to travel internationally with my job. Last spring, right before COVID hit, I was in Bahrain for 2 weeks in the Middle East, working with our client and getting to go on a field survey and the site and talking to the client to make sure that we are providing all of the facilities that they need and all of the facilities are meeting the requirements of the codes and standards while also giving them what they need in order to service their aircraft, because it's another military installation. In terms of skills and practices that are important in engineering in general, not just fire protection, you're working with other people on a daily basis. It's like constantly being in a group project. So it's really important to have good communication, documenting everything that you're doing and documenting conversations with people. So that way, when you need to look back at a design or a project, you know all of the information and you can go back and refer to a conversation that you had or look back at a certain reference that you made. We also, never mind, sorry. I love my job because I think it is so much fun to work with other people, and we kind of have a unique opportunity at my company where we have cradle to grave design, which means that we're involved in the project from the conceptual floor plans and talking to the client about what their needs are for the building. We're designing the facility, and then we're handing it off to subcontractors or general construction companies like Whiting Turner or Walsh Construction to build the facility, and we're involved in the design until it is fully built and occupied. So it's really neat that we get to see, you know, the model and the building model on Revit before it goes out to all of the subcontractors, and then we get pictures during construction And we get to see that certain wall that was a headache for everybody when they were running pipes or ductwork or everything. And it's cool to see everything whenever it's in construction. In terms of changes that are currently occurring in our industry in terms of architecture and engineering, obviously the biggest difference is a lot of us are working from home still because we are able to do our jobs remotely. But I'm definitely excited to get back into the office because it's a lot easier to collaborate when you're face to face with people. But we're seeing a lot of big changes with a big focus in infrastructure with the new administration. So it's neat to see a lot of focus being put on my industry and things that I work on every day that everybody in the world gets to see now. So it's pretty cool.